In late 1980s, tennis was looking for revival. It needed a shot of adrenaline to revive its energy and excitement. This is when Andre Agassi burst onto the scene. Andre Agassi brought flash and pizzazz to tennis courts around the world. He brought a star appeal that the sport of tennis had not witnessed since Ellsworth Wines debuted with his charm and Hollywood good looks. Ellsworth Wines also had a supreme playing style in the early 1930s. I have talked about Ellsworth Wines in a video on this channel. Andre Agassi was a showman and entertainer, true to his Las Vegas roots. He was also a devastating baseline player who bashed every ball as though his life depended on it. Long before Andre Agassi managed to win his first ever tennis tournament, Nike signed him to a multi-million-dollar endorsement contract and created a line of shoes and apparel that matched Andre Agassi's playing style. His playing style, like his apparel, was loud, bold, aggressive, and confident. Remember, Andre Agassi was only a teenager at this stage. In 1990, when Andre Agassi's career was just on the brink of exploding into a frenzy, Nike introduced Agassi's Challenge Court selection, a series of acid wash denim shorts with neon yellow, pink, and purple lycra tights underneath extending mid thigh. The accompanying top was loosely fitted with a pull zipper instead of the traditional 3-button polo and featured colorful geometric shapes. Much to the adulation of the female fanbase, every time Andre Agassi pounded a forehand, reached for a serve, and lunged for a volley, his shirt would raise halfway up his body, exposing his finely toned midriff. Andre Agassi's shoes were color coordinated to match his outfit or vice versa. They were flamboyant in style and quite simply cool for the millions who had to have them. The finishing touch was a wide headband that adorned his blonde mullet, the hottest hairdo topic since the Beatles landed in the United States of America from Liverpool with their bowl cuts in 1964. Andre Agassi burst onto the tennis scene as a 16-year-old, fresh out of Nick Bollettieri's Tennis Academy in 1986. Tennis magazine featured just the back of his head on the cover, with the headline, Andre Agassi, Turning Heads. This was the first time Tennis magazine did not promote instruction to its readers. Andre Agassi won 8 major singles championships. He also won an Olympic gold medal and 60 ATP titles. It has to be said that Andre Agassi did more than just turn heads. He had the entire world on a swivel following his every move. Andre Agassi enjoyed a 21-year-long professional career, one with extreme highs and extreme lows. His career record reads 870 wins and 274 defeats, one of the best in history. But the biggest achievement of his career has to be becoming the first player in the Open era to win the career Grand Slam when the majors were played on 3 different surfaces. Remember, in Rod Laver's era, there were only 2 surfaces, grass for 3 majors and clay for the French Open. Andre Agassi had hard courts, grass courts, and clay court major titles. Many experts believe, and even as a tennis fan, I would have to agree, that had it not been for his chief rival Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi would have added to his major title collection. He faced Pete Sampras in 5 major finals and won only once. Nonetheless, Agassi won the Australian Open 4 times, 1995, 2000, 2001 and 2003. He won the French Open once in 1999, Wimbledon once in 1992. In fact, Andre Agassi's victory at Wimbledon precedes Pete Sampras's 7 victories at Wimbledon. And Andre Agassi also won the US Open twice, in 1994 and in 1999. Andre Agassi reached the major finals 15 times and earned more than 31 million American dollars in prize money. He himself admitted in his critically acclaimed autobiography Open that he was force fed tennis as a toddler from his father Mike, an immigrant from Iran who was also a former Olympic boxer. Agassi was taught to hit the ball as hard as he could on every shot. He obliged, becoming a devastating baseline player who won match after match without playing much at the net. He was a USTA junior national champion and at the age of 13 began a stormy relationship with the sun-tanned Bollettieri who parted ways with his star pupil in 1993, suggesting he was not working hard enough. Agassi was originally scheduled to train in Florida for 3 months, but Bollettieri boasted that, quote, Agassi had more natural talent than anyone else he had seen, unquote, and kept the long haired Vegas kid at the academy for several years at no cost. At the age of 16, Andre Agassi turned professional. Agassi was taught to hit the ball on the rise and as early as possible. His hand eye coordination was exceptional, and his racket head speed produced blistering shots off both his forehand and backhand. He hit balls deep, either flat or with moderate topspin, and was a powerful counterpuncher. His return of serve has been regarded as the best in tennis history till Novak Djokovic came to prominence. Andre Agassi used to drive the serve back harder than it arrived, and Agassi was masterful at producing winners at acute cross-court angles or down the line. As Andre Agassi embraced training and fitness, he grew stronger and resilient to his punishing style. He was a dogged ball retriever, fast laterally and would wear his opponent down with a constant barrage of penetrating shots. It would appear that with a power game built to compete against the world's best players, Agassi would enjoy immediate success on the professional circuit, and in tournaments outside the majors, he did. He won his first tournament in 1987 at the Sul American Open in Itaparica, Brazil over Luis Matar. And at the conclusion of his first year touring, Andre Agassi was ranked number 25 in the world. By the close of 1988, he had earned his first million American dollars in prize money after just 43 tournaments. This was at that time fastest in history. Manufacturers were eager to use Andre Agassi as a pitchman, most notably the camera company Canon, which created the iconic moniker Image is Everything. And Agassi was the fitting brand ambassador. While the television commercial did boost Agassi's notoriety and fandom, it also magnified that his generation of young and talented players such as Michael Chang, Jim Courier, Stefan Edberg, Mats Wilander, and Pete Sampras had all won major singles championships before Andre Agassi. Some wondered whether there was any playing substance behind the flash. Was it all style, no substance when it came to Andre Agassi? It took Andre Agassi 5 years to advance to his first major singles final, the 1990 French Open, but he fell to Andres Gomez in 4 sets 6-3, 2-6, 6-4, 6-4. He and Pete Sampras staged an All-American final at the 1990 US Open, the first since John McEnroe and Vitas Gerulaitis in 1979. But Pete Sampras won easily 6-4, 6-3, 6-2. Agassi then returned to the French Open final in 1991, but this time his bid for a major title was derailed by his former Bollettieri Academy roommate, American Jim Courier, who prevailed 3-6, 6-4, 2-6, 6-1, 6-4 in 5 tightly fought sets. It wasn't until his 7th attempt at Wimbledon in 1992 that Agassi broke through. When we think of Andre Agassi, in retrospect, we don't think of somebody who dominated the grass courts at Wimbledon. But the first major singles title that Andre Agassi won was in fact at centre court in Wimbledon in 1992, his 7th attempt. He had chosen not to compete in London from 1988 through 1990, denouncing the pomp, circumstance, and tradition at the All England Club, which, among other things, required players to wear predominantly white outfits, a dress code that Andre Agassi did not favour. He was seeded number 12 and had 2 huge back-to-back wins over Boris Becker in the quarterfinals and John McEnroe in the semifinals. He faced big serving Croatian Goran Ivanisevic in the finals and outlasted the powerful lefty 6-7, 6-4, 6-4, 1-6, 6-4. After winning the match, he dropped to his knees in tearful joy. His road to a career Grand Slam had one notch in its belt. The second notch was earned in his ninth attempt at the 1994 US Open, when he became the first man to capture the event as an unseeded player, defeating German Michael Stich in the final 6-1, 7-6, 7-5. Along the way, Andre Agassi defeated five seeded players. He won his third major the following January at the Australian Open, the first of his four titles in Melbourne, registering his lone major triumph over compatriot Pete Sampras, winning 4-6, 6-1, 7-6, 6-4. Agassi and Sampras were as disparate as classical music and hard rock. They met 34 times, Sampras holding a 2014 career lead and prevailing at the majors, winning the 1990 US Open 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, the 1995 US Open 6-4, 6-3, 4-6, 7-5, Wimbledon in 1999 6-3, 6-4, 7-5, and at the US Open in 2002 6-3, 6-4, 5-7, 6-4. Even in victory, Pete Sampras had deep respect for Andre Agassi, saying, quote, "When Andre's on, forget it. He does practically everything better than anybody else." Unquote. The victory at the Australian Open, a semi-finalist appearance at Wimbledon, and a trip to the US Open finals earned Agassi the world number 2 ranking at the close of 1995. In his career, he held the world number 1 ranking for 101 weeks, first ascending to the top in 1992. From 1988 to 2005, he was ranked in the world top 10 on 16 occasions. He earned a coveted gold medal at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta, thrashing Spaniard Sergi Bruguera 6-2, 6-3, 6-1. Fame and celebrity placed Agassi in the spotlight and led to his personal life becoming tabloid fodder. He wed tennis legend Steffi Graf in 2001, forming a marriage with 31 major titles and 2 gold medals. 1 gold medal for Andre Agassi and 1 gold medal for Steffi Graf. Of the 31 major titles, majority were won by Steffi Graf. I have talked about Steffi Graf in a video on this channel. From 1997 to 1999, Agassi hit a difficult patch in his professional and personal life, but overcame those obstacles to win 2 major titles in 1999. The first at the French Open in a colossal comeback victory over Andrei Medvedev 1-6, 2-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, and the US Open in a grueling 5-setter against fellow American Todd Martin 6-4, 6-7, 6-7, 6-3, 6-2. The Australian Open proved to be his most successful major, as Agassi won the 2000, 2001 and 2003 event, knocking off Russian Yevgeny Kafelnikov 3-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4, Frenchman Arnaud Clement 6-4, 6-2, 6-2, and German Rainer Schuttler 6-2, 6-2, 6-1, respectively. He was 33 years old when he won his 4th Australian Open, arguably playing better tennis than ever with a game that did not rely on punishing ground strokes on every shot. He had made modifications to his game, adding a balanced and selective shot approach that he did not possess in his younger days. His play at the Australian Open, combined with the 79 wins to 19 defeats record at the US Open, earned him a 127 career hardcourt major victories. Injuries, especially recurring back pain, began to hobble Agassi in 2006, which ended up being his last season on the tour. Agassi made one final dramatic run at the US Open that year, winning his first round in 4 sets over Romanian Andrei Pavel and second round in an upset over number 8 seed Marcos Baghdatis from Cyprus. His magic ran out in the third round against Germany's Benjamin Becker in 4 sets. As he fought back constant tears and blew kisses to the adoring crowd, Agassi received a 4-minute standing ovation in his last professional event. During his career, and particularly since retirement, Agassi has focused on philanthropic ventures, primarily in the areas of children and education. In 2001, he opened the Andre Agassi College Preparatory Academy, a tuition-free public charter school for kindergarten through grade 12, and the Agassi Boys and Girls Club in Las Vegas's most at-risk neighborhood. Andre Agassi really does do justice to the moniker he will forever be associated with. Image is everything.